What a start to the day. Judge Clifton Newman booted a juror from the Alex Murdaugh murder trial as the case entered the 11th hour. Now, the prosecution has their final argument in a few minutes. But let's talk about that juror for just a moment. The juror apparently followed the rules for 6 weeks before blowing it and discussing the case with somebody outside of the jury room. Could this stupid decision bring this case to its knees?
First off, this morning we have to deal with the issue involving the removal of a juror. A few days ago, I received a complaint from a member of the public indicating that a juror had engaged in improper conversations with parties not associated with the case. Individuals were interviewed in which both of those individuals waffled on the nature and the extent of the contact. They also provided a recorded interview, or the state provided a recorded interview with the jurors, and I reviewed that interview last night. Though it does not appear that the conversations were that extensive, it did involve the juror offering her opinion regarding evidence received up to that point in the trial that the conversation took place. And in order to preserve the integrity of the process and the interests of both the state and the defense in a fair trial, that juror will be removed. And we'll bring the juror out to inform her that her services will no longer be needed. We will then replace her with an alternate juror. Any additional comments by the state or the defense? Mr.
Not from the state, Your Honor.
Your Honor, we do not accept from your ruling.
Yes,
I've sat through everything you sat through, and it's muddled, but we would defer to your judgment. However, I think it's important for me to note for the record that the interviews of these two people were done by SLED agents, one of whom was named as a witness in this case, and the other who was listed in the notes as being one of the investigating officers. Just to note that, again, SLED has made another bad judgment in this case. I'm not accepting from your ruling.
Yes.
I'm just pointing out that this is just a continuum of a calamity of errors. Thank you.
And the court has not had any discussion with any SLED agents concerning this issue. All the inquiry by the court has been directly with the suspected parties involved and with the juror. And this is a matter that this long trial with the intense publicity is certainly it would be certainly difficult for any individual to not have some exposure outside of the courtroom to information concerning the case, and to also be tempted to engage in discussions with others. But it is improper, it is contrary to my instructions to the jury daily, multiple times per day, and this juror unfortunately violated that order.
Hey folks, it's Mike from Profiling Evil, and I wanted to take a minute and tell you about our affiliate, Truthfinder. It's a company that I've been using for a couple of years to research cases and individuals. Now, Truthfinder uses publicly available information, but it brings it together in a way that provides answers quickly and concisely. You can use Truthfinder to check out your new babysitter, or maybe that new love in your life, or just to find somebody you haven't seen for an awfully long time. TruthFinder provides these comprehensive background reports, telephone reports, email reports, and even location information. So when you go in and examine the information in their search results, you're going to find personal information, contact information, and places where your target has lived, not only historically, but currently. Now, all this can seem really overwhelming and maybe a little invasive to you. So I want to make sure you understand all of the information is publicly available information. TruthFinder just has an algorithm that brings it all together in a way that makes it a whole lot easier to access. Now, TruthFinder is an affiliate, which means we get a tiny commission when you sign up. It's about enough to buy a Diet Dr. Pepper, frankly. But I want you to know that I use it every single day, and I hope that you'll take a moment and sign up with them. I've given you a discount code, and it's down in the link below, so make sure you grab it. EVIL10. And remember, you can cancel this thing at any time. Now, I hope you'll give them a try, but before you do, let's just jump back into today's discussion.
Morning. Yes, ma'am, up here. In your normal spot's fine. If you could just remain standing for me. Good morning. You doing okay today? All right. I have, as you know, we've had some discussions with you over the past couple of days concerning indications of conversations with few folks not on the jury concerning the case and expressing some opinion about the case. I have reviewed everything, including statements given by individuals and recorded interviews, and concluded that despite my order to not discuss the case with anyone, that intentionally or unintentionally you've had some discussions with some folks not on the jury, and which is going to require me to remove you from the jury. You have been a by all accounts, great juror and smiled consistently and have seemingly been attentive to the case and performed well, and I'm sure that with all the time you've invested in it, you probably hate not to continue, or maybe you're ready to go, I don't know. But I certainly want to thank you for your service. I'm not suggesting that you intentionally did anything wrong, but that in order to preserve the integrity of the process and in fairness to all the parties involved, we're going to replace you with one of the other jurors.
Well, the unnamed juror was apparently caught discussing the case outside of the courtroom, which is prohibited during a trial. Now, the only remarkable words out of the judge's mouth as she was booted from the courtroom was whether she could have somebody retrieve a dozen eggs that she left behind. Let's watch.
Have you brought everything that you have outside of, you left some stuff in there? What do you have in there?
A dozen eggs.
Say it again?
A dozen eggs.
A dozen eggs?
Yeah, one of the other jurors brought in eggs for everybody from the farm. So
okay.
eggs, my purse, and nut water.
All right, well, you're going to leave the eggs. You want to leave the eggs or take the eggs? You're going to take the eggs. So, Mr. Bailiff, can you retrieve from the jury room her dozen eggs, her purse, and what else? And a bottle of water. We get a lot of interesting things, but now a dozen eggs. It's certainly pretty interesting. We'll give them, give her a chance to leave or to take her. She's gone? Yes. Okay, very good. Anything else before the jury comes?
Have we picked an alternate?
Oh, right, absolutely. When they come out, we'll need to select an alternate, and the clerk you have the remaining alternates in a box. Any objection to a blind selection of that alternate out of the box?
Nothing for the defense, Your Honor.
While all of this seems pretty comical, this juror's failure to follow the rules gave the defense a perfect chance to cast more doubt on the court officers and the trial overall. It was determined that the juror spoke to at least 3 different people, violating all the rules. Now the judge was left with no choice but to remove her and replace her with another juror just hours before the testimony and the evidence ended, sending this case to the jury. Hey, catch my next video on the judge's instructions, and make sure you're hitting that like and subscribe button, ringing the bell, and doing all of that stuff. Thanks for supporting Profiling Evil, and we'll see you soon at the next crime scene.